Well, hello, I'm David Freeman with Is That Really in the Bible? I guess I should say Happy New Year's. Although, if Jesus came to your church at this time of the year, he would tell you this is not really the new year. In other words, the new year begins in the springtime when everything is coming to life, when there's a warmth in the air. That's when the new year really begins. Well, let's take a look at it in Exodus 12 and verse 2. And this month shall be unto you the beginning of months. It shall be the first month of the year to you. Now this was the month of Abib, and it corresponds to around our March 28th. And if you look at a calendar this year at March 28th, you will realize that spring, that's right there near springtime. You know, God's way makes sense. It really does. That the new year doesn't start in the dead middle of winter when it's freezing cold. The new year starts when everything is coming back to life. Yeah, that makes sense. God's way makes sense. Of course, we go by the Gregorian calendar and the Hebrew calendar. They went by, they identified a new month by a new moon. That was the beginning of a new month, and that's how they calculated their time. But in the Bible, you had the beginning of the year occurring at springtime, which makes much more sense. Now, 14 days later, you had the Passover. And the Passover was about forgiveness and a new beginning. Sort of like a New Year's resolution, you know. Now, married people, they renew their covenant they made between God often. But, and that's what renewing your vows, you know, basically this Passover, that's what it was about, was renewing your covenant that you've made between God. Some people call it communion, and where they get together and they take a little bit of bread, a little bit of wine, unleavened bread, a little bit of wine. It represents Christ's blood, and they take that, they eat the bread, you know, eat, this is my body, and they renew that covenant. It's a new beginning, new beginning. Now, what is the one thing God desires from all of us, especially when it comes to the need for a new beginning? And I'm convinced throughout the year we always have, not just one time, you know, we talk about New Year's resolution, yeah, we have that, but throughout the year, often we need a new start, a fresh start, a new beginning. We need to wipe the slate clean and start out fresh. But what's 3 words does God want to hear from you, especially when you're starting out new? Now, someone would say, oh, I know, he wants to hear the words, I love you. That's 3 words. No, that's not the 3 words God wants to hear.